New Order, here to stay on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais.
We're here to stay.
Yeah.
For the next 2 hours.
Yeah.
All right.
That's Steve Merchant
Hello
there.
there.
We're with our producer here, Karl Pilkington. We'll be talking to Karl a little bit later because we've got to have his thoughts on Aesop's fables, continuing the education of Karl. We've got some great music coming up, haven't
Bloody
we?
good music.
A little bit of, what have we got? Happy Mondays.
Badly Drawn Boy.
Yeah, all that. Bob Dylan.
All sorts.
All sorts coming up.
Yeah, Rick, I don't know, I just wanted to bring your attention to this. Someone passed this on to me. It's from the Guardian's media website. There has a sort of website that's dedicated to kind of media information.
Is this about our complaint?
Well, the headline is Comedian Rapped Over Radio Innuendo.
Right.
Jessica Hodgson has written the article.
Go on.
Are you familiar with this? Have you
Well,
seen
be
this?
careful now because we actually got a complaint. A lot of people don't know this. We got a complaint upheld, and
Well, all of this
we're very sorry. We didn't mean to offend. And it was a while ago, so we are going to be very careful. Carl's getting very nervous. We're just going to read out. We're not going to editorialise, Karl. We're just going to read out what the Guardian printed about us. All right? Okay.
Comedian Ricky Gervais has had a dressing down from a broadcasting watchdog for his repeated use of the word cock in a lunchtime radio show.
That's all right. That's what it says.
Fine,
Karl.
that's what I
He's
just.
not going to say it again. He's not. Yeah. Go on.
Imagine this is the news and I'm reading it.
Yeah.
The Broadcasting Standards Commission upheld a complaint against the comedian for coarse sexual innuendo in the programme on London station XFM. The Commission acknowledged that the presenter's remarks were intended to be humorous, but took the view that the amount and detail of the coarse sexual innuendo had exceeded acceptable boundaries for broadcast, said the BSC in a statement. The complaint objected to a section in the Comics Saturday afternoon show when he discussed the different meanings of the word cock. Gervais wondered aloud whether the word was acceptable when discussing birds, but not the male sexual organ. A BSC spokesman said the comedian went on and on about it for nearly 5 minutes. XFM, a self-styled alternative radio station, said in its defence that its remit was to provide cutting-edge programmes for a youth audience. The station said the programme's brief was to include elements of alternative comedy within certain shows that would not fit within a more mainstream radio station format. In this particular show, it was not the presenter's intention to shock when they took a humorous look at how the English language could be construed in different ways within different contexts. Gervais, whose big break was on Channel 4's 11 o'clock show, has shot to household status through the portrayal of David Brent, the middle manager from hell in BBC Two's cult show, The Office.
Just in case you didn't know who I was talking about.
Yeah, he's a household name, but they just thought
you might not have heard of him, but he is a household name. Now, that's good. That's good reporting, and they're quite right about it. And just to remind people, it was when Steve said the only bird that hasn't got a penis is the swan, and I went on about the male bird being called the cock, but I couldn't use that to mean, and you know, it was childish, you know. But what annoys me is, I'm sure I've heard things on like Radio 1 like that. Oh, what's what's her name in the morning, Sarah?
COCKS.
Yeah, and as there's a DJ like Karl.
COCKS.
Yeah, so you got Karl. What's the matter? I'm just saying.
You're just saying
there's a pair of DJs on,
yeah, but
you know.
we've done this.
And
What are you talking about? We're just talking
it's
about
names. They're just saying the names. Now, I love COCKS in the morning.
You're a big fan. You're a big fan of COCKS.
And at night. What's the matter with you?
Come
Play a
on,
record,
Karl. All right, we've taken it. We've been. Have you actually been rapped over this?
No, I don't know what.
Have you
that
had a
means.
dressing down?
No.
When did that happen?
I don't know.
I was meant to tell you, and I never got round to it.
Okay. Thanks then.
So don't do it again.
Radiohead, Let Down off OK Computer. Apparently we missed a gig on that gig guide. Drip Feed are playing the Rock Garden on the 21st of this month.
Excellent.
So the lead singer just called in with that. He also left a quote with me. Apparently Coleridge said of Keats, wasn't it? He's like an archangel slightly damaged.
Rick,
See,
I'm worried we're getting a little bit highbrow.
Do you reckon?
Have you got any knob gags you could do quickly? Because I'm just thinking we're switching. There's a lot of people that are going to be turning off. I mean, currently on Capital FM, Chris Tarrant and Dr. Neil Fox together at last. The partnership we've always
they
wanted.
said it would never happen. Do you know what I'd like to see together? That breakfast DJ, Sarah
COCKS.
and who's the dance? Karl.
That'll be Karl Cox.
Karl, please, why are you getting suddenly saying these rude words? We've been reprimanded
Yeah,
once,
don't
Karl,
say
please.
that, and don't say it so aggressively, because it sounds like you're saying cocks aggressively.
Come on, we've been reprimanded.
Yeah.
Alright? Just don't use language like that.
It's
okay, man?
annoying me.
Come on.
Why is it annoying you?
Because-
We're talking about DJs, that's their
Yeah.
names.
But you try to be clever.
I hardly
You've
think
given
that's
me-
clever.
You've given me a
Yeah, if that's my best attempt at being clever.
I've got rubbish homework this week.
Okay, he's really upset about
really
this.
upset.
He was looking forward to animal fat.
You said you were going to bring in that big book, 500
It's
animal
so... I got it off one of those bargain books.
So
I thought
what?
it'd be easy, right? Cause but it's too elementary.
No, but that's more useful than that to me.
But it's things like the tortoise has a shell to protect it.
That's good.
Yeah, but you know...
Because you thought it was there just to be painted on with tippets.
Oh, have you ever peeled a tortoise? They fly. They go about 400 miles an hour. It's to weigh them down because they're the fastest lizards known to man.
Exactly.
Honestly, they run so fast they can go through walls.
Yeah.
And so their shells put on them in the hospital, in the maternity ward, at a very early age, just slow them down. You let a tortoise shell and you won't catch it.
Steve, do you know that turtles can breathe out of the bum?
Turtles can breathe out of their bum. I know someone who can talk out of it, but didn't realise that.
Tell us about that. Tell us about that. How do they do
That's
that?
it, that's all I know. They when they go swimming, they can sort of, if they don't want to stick their head out, they can just...
Stick their arse out.
Why don't they want to stick their head out?
Just if I don't know, maybe they need to be looking for food under the water.
Yeah.
And if they stick their head up to get some air, they might miss something.
Wouldn't it be easier to have an arse that could forage for food? So they could sort of like lounge in the pool like a jacuzzi, and they're looking around going, "All right, hello, hiya," and meanwhile its arse is like munching grass.
Yeah, bad
Wouldn't that
breath.
be easier?
Oh, bad breath.
Well,
I wish I understood what that meant.
lovely.
Yeah, good tune that, I think. Sarah and Lauren have emailed in. They said they wanted something from Elliott Smith or maybe Jimmy Webb. That's actually produced by the producer of Elliott Smith. And
Is
there's
that?
a
I haven't
Smithsonian
brought any
element
Jimmy
to it.
Webb into now.
No, we'll maybe play that next time.
I'll play some.
it's good
play some
stuff.
next week.
That's Badly Drawn Boy, though, from the soundtrack to this film About a Boy, and that's called Something to Talk About.
We've only got the stuff in the library. Do they want Four Non-Blondes? Because we've got that in the library, haven't we?
The best of Tony Basil.
And we've got just about every song that In Excess ever recorded.
Exactly. We don't play enough in excess, do
I
we?
don't think we do we?
Nice.
No, I can't believe it. XFM 104.9 coming up. White Van Man, White
Carl.
Van Carl.
White Van Carl. I was obviously out with Carl last night. A lot of people
yeah?
don't realise this because we went out. There's what's the name of that evening?
Marketplace, extracurricular.
Extracurricular. Yeah, various XFM DJs go down there and just play an eclectic mix.
Spin some tunes off.
Absolutely, and I'm thinking of doing it in a couple of weeks, Rick. And obviously, you know my turntablist skills now are
Yeah.
pretty something to behold.
Yeah.
And I tell you this: what I did an amazing mix the other day with my friend Dan. We spent 2.5 hours on it. This is how we spend our evenings now: 2.5 hours mixing from a trip hop sort of hip hop style beat into Arthur's Theme by Christopher Cross.
Great
When
tune.
you get caught between the moon and New
Written
York
by 4
City.
people.
4 people. yeah.
Bacharach, Carol Bayer-Sager, Christopher Cross, and a 4th one.
Absolutely.
Phone in.
If you know that.
Maybe we should.
But,
who knows the 4th person credited on that tune?
If only there were a prize.
700 800 1234. Also, someone else to phone in. Right, I saw an advert. Right, there's advert for toys. I think it must be. Is it because it's Easter holidays or something?
Right.
And I was watching today, and there's one of those Transformer type things, and it goes in its shield. It strikes and then goes into its shield, and it goes into a little pod. And I'm sure it was called a Bolock.
Right.
Now I must have misheard it. There's no way you can call a little kid's toy a Bolock. So can you phone in? I'm quite willing to be wrong. It'd be very disappointing, but are people making little Bolocks for kids? No.
Yeah.
Oh wait, 700 800 1234. And what was the other question?
Was there the other question was who
was
was
the
the
fourth
fourth
person
person
who
that
wrote-
wrote Arthur's Theme?
Yeah.
When you get caught between the moon and New York City.
It's crazy,
fantastic.
but it's true. Yeah.
The only thing you can do is fall in love, Carl. But I was out with Carl last night, obviously party animal. He's hanging out with some of my friends. You enjoyed yourself, didn't you, Carl?
That's all right.
But you were a bit worried about Jennifer Lopez, weren't you?
Yeah.
What was the concern?
I don't really know what's going on in the pop world.
You're joking.
No.
Go on.
And I was here in the toilets, right? And I heard it playing out on the speaker, and I heard the DJ go, "There you go, that's Left Eye Lopez there."
That's not.
And I thought, it's Jennifer Lopez.
No, it's the little one.
She had some sort of eye injury.
That was
You
genuinely-
thought he was breaking the news of
Yeah.
Jennifer Lopez losing an eye
I
by
thought-
calling her Left Eye Lopez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's genius.
Don't worry, we put him right. It's okay. He
Yeah.
slept easy.
Yeah.
But you were worried for a while, weren't you? You were anxious for a while.
I had no idea. And the thing is, I heard that on like Thursday, so for like 3 days I've been thinking.
You've been panicking?
Why she called that? Because she changed her name before, hadn't she, to J-Lo or something.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know,
Yeah.
if she got some people after her, if she owes someone money, keep
Yeah.
changing her name.
That was Wobby Gabrielle and Rise.
Anyway, more music, Ray?
Oh, I'd love to.
Tell you
Yeah, what have you got lined up there, Carl?
Beta band.
Oh, yeah. Sweet.
Dynamite.
Sure.
Respect,
Yeah,
total
yeah,
respect
yeah,
for that.
yeah,
Massive
yeah,
respect.
Yeah,
No, Jew. Yeah, no, absolutely. Huge respect.
Nirvana, All Apologies on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, obviously, with me, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Well, Steve, I met up with... I know it's forbidden, usually.
I don't know why you
Let me
keep
just
doing
explain to the listener. Me and Steve have got a little bit of a pact. We're not allowed to talk to Karl during the week because he comes out with too much dynamite and we want it to be fresh, and it's just unfair. And if he sees us laughing, he clams up a little bit because he knows something's wrong with his head. So, I was in a pub and Karl called. He was returning a call. I'd called you earlier, and I said, "Oh, I'm just across the road. Come over." And he came over, and we had a conversation. And I kept saying, "No, save it." And I can't remember half the things he was saying, but I do remember one thing he said. He said that the human eye never grows. He said, unlike your ears and nose that keeps growing all your life, he says the human eye never grows. Now, there's a little bit of... He says, no, you look at a baby, it's got big eyes. It's got the same size eyes as it will have.
When a
it's never-
baby's born, everyone always goes, "Oh, look at its eyes," don't they? Because that's like the main feature.
Yes.
They're quite big. They don't grow. They don't get any smaller. They stay the same size.
What you mean, once you become an adult, you've the same sized
No.
eyes?
Soon as you come out of the womb, your eyes, the size they are as a little baby, they stay the same size. It's
Until
just
you
like the
die.
sockets.
And I pointed out to him, right, I said, if that was true, Steve Merchant, when he was a baby, with these eyes he's got now, would have looked like a hammerhead shark.
Alright, calm down. You don't want to go lay into the eyes.
Do you know what I mean? Just to prove my point.
I didn't laugh when
Good.
he said that.
Respect.
Do you know what I mean, though?
Well, I've got the eyes are the windows of the soul. And mine happen to be enormous
French
plate glass windows. Yeah. But, but nevertheless, they're beautiful. Many people find them beautiful.
Yeah, they're great. Yeah, many people do. But
Do you know they don't have kneecaps either?
My eyes, or?
what?
Babies. When they're born, they don't get kneecaps until they're about 2.
They don't get kneecaps.
Is that true?
Yeah. And
Yeah,
also,
What are you
it might be
talking
true,
about,
it might
Carl?
be
That's,
true.
but isn't it a little bone? It's part of the.
Well, no, but all
the leg bone.
you've got lot more bones when you're born than
yeah, you got
eventually.
300 when you're born, then 205 when you're an adult.
Yeah, they're all fused, don't they?
Do they?
The head's got to be all soft to come out.
Right.
As we said earlier,
I would know. I'm a shark.
Oh,
So
God.
what did you say when he said about my eyes being huge?
Okay, get off it.
I said that isn't nice, considering
Yeah.
he's not here. I
Yeah,
said
talking
I
about
wait
him
until
going
he's
on
here when I slag him off.
Yeah, very well. No, nice one, Carl. You're an honourable man.
Oh, well, I know, see, the thing is, right, that made me think that it might be a little bit of truth in this.
There is as well,
that-
the ear thing. Have you seen that with old
That's
men
true,
who have
yeah.
really long ears
Yeah,
and big noses?
yeah.
you mean
do
that-
they eat buns and walk around in the jungle, these
I don't
old
understand.
men?
You mean that the ears and the nose carry on growing?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do, that's true. That's true, it's cartilage.
Yeah, but it's not like sort of Pinocchio.
No, after you're dead. You leave a body lying around, he's got a huge elephant type
Really?
ears.
If you left him long enough?
4-foot nose, that's what, yeah.
Incredible.
No,
remarkable.
but it's about the focal length in your eye, you see, because it's like a big lens. So it makes sense that they couldn't change that much. Because an owl, do you know why an owl turns its head round? Sort of like 180 degrees.
No.
Because it can't move its eyes, because the eyes take up the whole... It's the biggest eye in the animal kingdom. The eyes take up the whole of its skull.
Really?
Yeah, and it has to move its... Yeah.
Has it got a brain in there as well?
It's got a brain in there, yeah, above the eye, yeah. When I say the whole of the skull...
Quite, yeah. There's
yeah.
also some space for the brain.
What I meant is the two diameters of the eye is the diameter of the...
You've lost me
skull.
there with diameters. And
You didn't like maths, did you?
don't like maths. Never understood it. Couldn't get to grips with maths. I don't know about you, Carl.
Did you do maths, Carl?
Now, how did you do in your exams on the maths? Did you turn it? I bet yours was rather like my theory, which is why do you need to figure it all out when you've got a calculator?
Exactly.
Yeah, I knew it.
Yeah.
You're
And
right.
I agree.
Well, let's play a record, and afterwards I'm going to be testing you on your homework this week, Carl.
Could we do White Van Man first?
We could do... Oh, just to... No, they've got to know
just to
what
remind
they're
people-
dealing with, yeah. Carl's homework was to read all about, as you know, Che Guevara.
Absolutely.
last week. He did well on Rasputin, didn't he?
Did very well on Rasputin. Yeah,
and
passed with flying marks there.
So let's have a bit of Wu-Tang, shall we?
Then let's have White Van
Karl.
Man. White Van Karl. No.
Yeah.
Don't erase none of that good shit.
Pinky Afro on XFM 104.9.
Oh,
Could I just add that in case you don't know what the
What
frequency is?
Yeah, exactly.
Why did they say that? Are they not, so you know what you listen to? So you go, I'll tell you what, I like that radio station.
Yeah.
And it was XFM 104.9.
Exactly.
I'll listen to that again.
You'll listen to that. You can retune.
Yeah.
I was wondering actually, Rick. I don't,
Stay locked up this end of the dial.
True enough. I was wondering because obviously we're still trying to campaign to get Karl into the air.
Yeah.
With the balloon enterprise, and obviously the work's been done on that. Don't fret, don't worry. A lot of people are asking for an update, but we'll obviously let you know when it's all going to take place.
Yeah.
But I was wondering
These
whether
things take time.
Exactly. But I was wondering whether we should also have another kind of campaign, some kind of campaign, maybe one that could involve you, Rick. Because I'm particularly concerned, Karl. I don't know how familiar you are with this, with Ricky's eating habits. Because he eats so unhealthily.
No,
that it scares me. No, come on, Rick, don't give me
I'm
this.
getting better now.
No, you're not getting better.
I have a smoothie every day.
Yeah, but I've told you before, that's largely sugar.
No, a homemade one.
I don't care, Rick. That's not enough. It can't counteract, right? This is Ricky Gervais's idea of health eating, right? We'll be in the canteen at the BBC. He'll go, I'm going to eat healthy today, which means he'll have 2 slices of pizza instead of pizza and chips. That's basically that's his theory, right? And it's like I don't know what, because he can't eat anything which doesn't sting the roof of his mouth with flavour. So like, for instance, he's always got headaches. He's always got a headache. Okay, that's because you just drink coffee and Coke. You never drink water. Your body is dehydrated. And I said, drink a glass of water. No, boring. It's boring, water. I don't know if we were in the desert, stranded. Boring. It's boring, Steve. I'll wait till the next cafe. Right, and sometimes he'll go like, oh, I'll have a salad, right? He'll get like a feta cheese salad, right? And he'll eat the little bits of feta cheese, leave the salad. Then he goes downstairs and goes, I'm still hungry. It didn't fill me up, that salad. I go, no, what didn't fill you up was the 200 milligrams of goat cheese that you ate. That's what didn't fill you up. So this should be a campaign. I don't know whether I can observe it, people could sponsor him, something. Just eat healthy, we could do it for some kind of big charity.
Fruit.
I don't think the fruit's the issue,
I
Rick.
can't, if you mash it, I'll eat anything.
Rick,
if it's
I'm not
mashed.
saying that you don't eat a certain amount of fruit. I'm saying that everything else you eat is unbalanced and it's just rich with fat and it's awful.
Yeah.
It's sausages, it's beans. You're such a working class scum, aren't you? It's the smell of chip fat. It's all around him. Do you know what I mean? It's like, even when you can't smell it, you know it's there, seeping through his veins. I imagine when he was growing up, it was just chip fat in the house. Just a big...
It was.
All constantly boiling.
There was always chips on with everything,
Exactly.
all fried.
Do you want Weetabix in the morning? Deep fat fry that. It's such scum. And now it's like, oh yeah, my palate, I can't eat anything. It's got no flavour. Everything's got to have cheese on it. Sprinkling Parmesan cheese. More Parmesan cheese. And if someone doesn't give him a whole tub of Parmesan cheese when you're in a restaurant, even though he's ordered a lobster or whatever, he's like, he sort of has a go at the waiter, or not to their face, obviously he's too much of a coward, but he'll say to me, he should have left the cheese. He's so cheap with the cheese. They don't give me any cheese. He just gave you 3 bucketfuls. Oh, it's a cheese. More cheese here. It's pathetic. So I just think we should do something because I'm panicked. I'm worried, I'm worried.
I started working out a little bit. I sort of work out 2 or 3 times
I don't
a week.
think that's going to counteract it, Rick.
And I drink water through the night when I wake up. I'm dehydrated.
From all the booze you've just drunk.
Yeah, and I have a smoothie in the morning, don't I?
You know what my views are on the smoothies. I don't think that's
You're
counteracting.
anti-smoothie. You're anti-smoothie.
Because I don't think it's
You've got a
counteracting all the
problem,
other
mate. You have got
problems.
a problem. There's nothing wrong with the smoothie.
Right, fine. Okay, well, if you're happy to carry on as you are.
Yeah, go on.
Badly Drawn Boy obviously has done the soundtrack
Loving
to this
it.
new film About a Boy,
Yeah.
which has got Hugh Grant in it, and obviously this current single, what's it called? The current one that's out, Silent Sigh. That's currently obviously that's being played on XFM. But this is another track from this album, which is the soundtrack. Lots of little bits of filler, bits of musical instrumental stuff, but all of it's very nice. This is a cracking tune, track 3, Something to Talk About. Right, Carl.
For Nancy on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant.
Hello
Karl Pilkington. Steve, you got any other toilet-related anecdotes?
Rick, my life is just full of toilet trauma.
Yeah.
And Carl, you may not realise this, but a while back I used to host, this is bizarre, I used to host a radio show on the BBC World Service, right? Now, if you want someone who's the voice of integrity, the voice of intelligence, the voice of a nation, you're going to come to me. That's obvious. And I was broadcasting to... Now, they've got listeners of something like 50, 60 million people around the world. It's mental, the listenership of the World Service. And I used to host this show with someone
It's a big
else.
place, Steve.
The World?
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. And anyway, so I had to be into Bush House, where they broadcast from, 10 o'clock every Friday morning, to broadcast around the world to 50 million people, right? And one week, went to the toilet in my house, right? Everyone had left. I got there a bit late. I got up a bit late. Already against me. The clock was already against me. Had to be there at 10 o'clock, broadcast around the world. And we got 2 toilets in our house, downstairs one, right? And the door had already been a bit dodgy. It was one of those doors where you had to give it a bit of a kick as you went in. It was getting a bit tight. I don't know what the wood was expanding or something. You know, I'm in there, and same thing again happens. No toilet paper. I think, oh God, I'm going to have to somehow kind of make it up.
Why don't you check first?
I normally do, Rick. I normally do. It's just on certain occasions when I'm bleary-eyed or something, I forget, or occasionally I forget. Normally I do check.
Right.
And you've got to bear in mind that it's not like this is happening every week. This is over the course of many years that
Sure.
these incidents have accumulated. So
You've condensed them.
for the purposes of this anecdote.
Sure.
Yeah. Yes. And great. You're just brilliant to keeping the pace up of an anecdote there, Rick. You've just drawn in. I don't know where I am now. Anyway, I know where I am. I'm trapped in a toilet with no toilet paper.
Yeah.
That's where I am. And I'm thinking maybe I peel off some of the wallpaper, you know, things like that. But there's nothing I can do. I got to go upstairs.
Newspaper.
Well, exactly. But I have to go upstairs and find
Toilet paper, was there any?
There wasn't.
There
sadly.
wasn't? Oh.
I'm going to have to go upstairs and maybe find a notepad or something like that. And so I try the door, right? The door's wedged. I'm pulling on the door and I can't get the door open. It's just like it won't come open. And it's already... And I knew it was going to come to this at some point. Like, this is like... The clock's ticking. I'm trying to pull the door open. Trousers around my ankles again. And I'm thinking, well, what I could do is I could open the window, I suppose, and like try and climb out. But not really, because I got the trousers around the ankles. And that's
Or if it was raining, just stick your ass out, 2 birds with one stone.
Sadly, it was a beautiful day, Rick.
I call it the World Bee Day.
And so, so what I'm thinking is, well, I got my mobile phone in there, luckily, because it's in my pocket. I'm thinking, well, maybe I could phone... I was seriously thinking,
Kleenex.
maybe I'll phone the fire brigade.
By this point, I need just dried.
No, it hadn't. It was...
Hold on, was that little puppy not around? Because sometimes you can call that, it's got a little bit wrapped round it.
Listen.
Or
This is
just
a
use the
serious
puppy
issue.
itself.
There's 50 million people around the world going to need to hear my voice in, like, 30 minutes.
Exactly.
And-
Where's Steve? He's not locked in the toilet again, is he?
Exactly.
Oh, no.
So I'm thinking about phoning the fire brigade, and I'm thinking,
Sure.
like, if I do that, it's gonna be the first call that goes straight on the speakerphone.
Yeah.
For like the entire fire brigade service
With
everywhere.
a butch hero carrying you down over his shoulders with your trousers around your ankles. Can I
Exactly.
just not pull him up? No, you've got to be taught a lesson.
Yeah. But I imagine the idea of phoning up and going, hello there, I'm trapped in a room in my house. Oh yeah, which one is it? Oh, I
It's
don't
quite
need
small.
to know.
It's quite small. Is it?
Yeah. It's not the toilet, is it? Because we don't want to come and rescue someone who's trapped in the toilet.
Which
No.
service do you require? Paper?
So I think I can't find the fire brigade. The clock's ticking. So then I think one of my housemates is still in the house, but still asleep. So I phone the house number. Right, phone rings and rings and rings for ages, and eventually he answers the phone. Right, gets out of bed, answers the phone. Yeah, hi, it's Steve. All right, what's wrong? I'm
What are you doing?
downstairs.
What are you doing? All right, yeah. I didn't wait. No. What are you doing? Just in the
I'm just
toilet.
downstairs in the toilet.
Oh, yeah, what are you
Trapped.
doing? Well, I've finished what I'm... Have you got any toilet paper?
Any bog roll.
Yeah.
So he had to kind of scrape together a few bits of paper, you know, and sort of tinfoil or whatever he could find
Yeah.
in the house.
A cactus.
Come down
Oh, no.
pass it underneath the door, right? And then I said, "Can you move away from the door because I don't want you to hear me as I'm, you know, wiping the." And so
You
he
didn't
did
say
it.
that.
Yeah, well, I didn't want him to. You know, that's
What,
embarrassing.
sorry,
that's
you-
embarrassing.
What were you wiping it with? Not tumbleweed. What do you mean? What
No, but
noise?
I know what you mean.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Right.
So then I say, right, can you smash?
Why
the-
was he hovering? Why didn't he want to walk away? Will you keep your what was it outside with a glass to his ear?
Yeah. Thankfully, there was a window in the door, but it was frosted glass. You could just see my semi-naked body moving around, and so eventually I said to him, "Look, listen, I'm going to need you to sort of kick the door in." He's going, "I don't want to kick the door in because you're going to have to pay for it, aren't we?" I go, "Yeah, but I got to go to the World Service. Well, yeah." And he was a lovely man. He's the weakest man you've ever come across. It's like if there's one person you don't want to have to throw their body weight against the door, it was him. It's like he'll snap before the door will. So he's smashing against
This
the door.
sounds like a fetish to me, though. He went in there, and there you were naked with lots of toilet paper. And you go, oh, you've broken the door down, and there I am naked. Again.
Oh, you've rumbled me, Rick. I wish I'd not told that embarrassing story on the radio. Like it wasn't embarrassing enough, you've just got to make it slightly more seedy.
Oh, so did he get it
He
down?
did it, yeah, and I got to the World Service with, like, minutes to spare.
Oh,
And interestingly, I told that story to 50 million people around the
You're
world.
joking.
did they understand?
I think so.
What? I mean, is that a bit of a problem when you're on the Will Service? Like, thinking of things that everyone can understand?
Yes.
Because you can't
It's a bit
just
like
talk
when
about-
talking
Yeah,
to you, Carl.
yeah, exactly, Carl. I think you're on thin ice there, worrying about people understanding what you're saying.
No, but you can't talk about stuff that's on the telly and that, because some people say, well, we haven't even got a telly here.
Oh, yeah, you're listening to XFM 104.9. Play a record.
Fix it.
Sure. So what about Monsters Inc.? What
Yeah.
did you make of it?
It's alright. It is a kid's film. It sort of annoyed
Is
me.
it?
Okay.
I was having, like...
What gave that away, do you think? Was it the songs? Was it the animation?
Yeah, the fluffy little things that squiggled round on the screen for an hour and a half.
It is annoying because, like, there's kids everywhere, and kids don't watch films, do they?
No.
You know what I mean? They're messing
I don't know why they make kids films.
And you
To
can't-
be honest, it's mental.
can't concentrate properly when you've got kids, you know,
Screaming,
making
shouting.
noise around you and that.
Yeah.
So I'd say, my little review, wait until it comes out on DVD.
What a great review that would be! Wouldn't that be great? Film 2002.
Yeah.
Jonathan Ross going, well, I don't want to give it away. Wait till it comes out on DVD.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, but not giving it away, it's just that you can't watch it properly when there's kids screaming around you.
Yeah.
sure.
Do you know what I mean?
What are you looking forward to this week? You going to go and see anything?
Just been talking to Ricky now, because my missus is away. I'll probably get out a DVD tonight.
Yep.
Rounders.
Oh, right,
I
okay.
thought you might like that.
And
It's
if you
like
can
gambling
get,
as
I
well.
mean, if I can get you tickets, say in the stalls or in a box for the stage version of Midnight Express, would you be up for that?
It's on ice.
'Cause I think it's the final year, isn't
It's
it?
lovely. It's Midnight Express on ice.
Yeah.
And it's a musical as well.
They're on roller
Do
skates.
you have any dope under your jacket? No.
Yeah. It is
And
well worth
it's,
hunting out.
it's great. John Hurt is actually in this version as well, which is fantastic.
It is
He played the Elephant Man. So it's all comes, the universe all comes together.
Have you ever seen the stage version of The Elephant Man?
No.
You'd love that.
Yeah.
Who's in that? I have seen a clip of it. Who plays him?
I think they got a real guy with elephantitis.
Right.
Yeah.
What are you finishing on?
Let's have a final song for the ladies. It's from the album Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me by The Cure, and it's The Beautiful Catch. See you next
Goodbye.
week.
See you next week, everybody. Bye bye. REM with Orange Crush on XFM 104.9. Well, nearly through, only 20 minutes to go. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve and Carl. Carl, what did you point to me then?
Just reminded me.
Go on.
Orange Crush. Do you know we were talking the other night about contraceptives?
No, you said to me, I've got to do lots of homework. You look up how they used, in the olden days, how they used to use elephant dung as a contraceptive. And I went, what? And he went, no, look it up. You make me give me those things. I said, I don't know. Was it they put, when you're running around with dung on the end of your knob, no woman really wants to go near it. Is that how it worked? And he went, come on, you give me things to do.
If you've just written a PhD on how to use elephant dung as a contraceptive, please get in touch.
And I
I
found
will
out
give the number in a minute.
It's not elephant, it was crocodile.
Oh, right, yeah.
Why?
But, yeah, Orange
Sorry,
Crush.
no, you can't. No, whoa.
What?
Back. What do you mean? It was crocodile dung. How do they use crocodile dung as a contraceptive?
I don't know.
Right, go on, Orange Crush, yeah.
So Orange Crush, what it was, I was trying to look up that thing about crocodile stuff, using it, and I came up with another one saying that they used to use a lemon, sort of shaped right, and the put it on, and the citric acid in it
Kill the
would
sperm?
kill the sperm.
Right.
So they would wear the lemon on the end of the knob.
Was that
whilst-
erotic?
It worked.
Listen, I'll try anything, Carl, mate. If that works.
Yeah.
If the ladies like that. I mean, could it be anything? Could it be like, a melon?
Kumquat?
Yeah, maybe. In my case.
What's those hairy ones?
Yeah.
Anyway, it just reminded me when Orange Crush.
Well, thanks very much for that, Carl. It's and that I didn't even ask him to.
No.
Research that. He just-
So Orange Crush reminded you of the lemon contraceptive? Okay. Jolly good.
You could use it as a little lemon squeezer, couldn't you? It could be like a novelty lemon squeezer. You just stand in the kitchen, and then when someone wants to just come along and go on the end of your.
Did you make this lemonade yourself?
I did. It tastes funny. It tastes funny. Okay, yeah.
Anyway.
Would you, Carl, this is a quick question to you. Would you ever sort of find yourself in a situation where you might confuse a woman's breasts with mountains? Is that a concern for you, do you think?
No.
Not a problem for you?
Well, not if they're small and humble, I wouldn't.
That's what I'm hoping. That's what, fingers crossed.
If they were small and humble, then I'd pretty much not confuse them with mountains.
Thank God, but I mean, if they were large and sort of pendulous.
And with, like quite rocky with snow on top.
Exactly.
Then I'd go, hold on, love.
Wait a minute.
Hold on, love. I was into this, but now...
Exactly.
I feel like I'm alone.
Carl, do you know what we're talking about?
Who has done that?
I'll give you a
what?
clue. One more time. See, my breasts are small and humble, so you don't confuse them with mountains. Shakira. It's a lyric that me and
taking
Steve
the
are
nation
obsessed
by
with.
storm.
It's quite a nice song. It's got another...
It's very much like, it sounds a bit like Men at Work Down Under.
Yeah, it's got the panpipes.
Is this what's its kid?
Who?
Julio Iglesias.
No, it's Shakira. Consequently, the word Shakira there being mentioned.
I haven't heard of him.
Okay. She's a big Latin star, apparently, big Latin American star. And anyway, just sing it again for us.
See, my breasts are small and humble, so you don't confuse them with mountains. Which is a concern. It was always a concern.
Definitely.
A number of times she's woken up, and there's been a...
This is shit. This is pathetic. Really, it's making you look a bigger moron than you are. More is C.
No, I didn't
Rock,
think that was
plant.
possible.
They don't fucking work. Let's do
They're
monkey
getting them
news.
right. They're getting them right, though. It's a bit of fun, isn't it?
Bit of shit.
Right. The first one, the initials ND. Right. ND. Who is it? He sings songs on that. Right. ND. The clue, that Jamaican fella doesn't want anything. So you've got to sort of imagine, oh, why is it a Jamaican fella?
Yeah.
Right. That Jamaican fella doesn't want anything. ND. Second one, the initial is E. I ask him to pass me the ball by using their head. Right? It's a band or an artist again. I ask him to pass me the ball by using their head. And the last one, TR, the initials, TR. He's got the woolly ones, but I've got the ones that run and charge at you. What forgot?
What?
He's got the woolly ones, but I've got the ones that run and charge at you. So what forgot?
And what's the...
TR for the initials. Right? Email in podcast@rickygervais.com. We just pick a winner, send you some stuff. It's Rockbusters.
Right. Rockbusters. Quick.
Right then, so last week gave you some initials, again, of artist or a band.
Quick.
Cryptic clue and that.
Yeah.
The first one I gave you, the initials were ND.
Yeah.
That Jamaican fella, he doesn't want anything. Right? So you got to think about the accent there.
Yeah.
He doesn't want anything, so he's not sort of demanding anything.
Okay.
No sort of demand, nil demand. Nil demand. So it's like Neil Diamond.
They'd say Neil Diamond, please.
No,
Can I have some Neil Diamond?
No.
Right.
Nil demand.
But just now it was all to do with, I've got no demands. Now it's a Jamaican person going in and asking for Neil Diamond in a Jamaican voice.
Yeah, I know, but it's a cryptic clue, innit?
Doesn't work.
The second one was, the initial was E. I ask them to pass me the ball by using their head. What do you do if you chuck someone a ball?
They head it back.
Edit back, yeah.
They head it back.
So you'd say, edit to us. Editors. That's editors.
What is it? Is it...
It's a band that are
No, there's a
quite
band
good at
called
moment.
The Editors, but there's no band called Editus.
Editus, what's that? Is it Greek? Is it a Greek band?
Again, cryptic. Just you got to
No,
think
again,
cryptic.
bollocks.
Then the last one, TR, it was the initials.
Yeah.
The cryptic clue. He's got the woolly ones, but I've got the ones that run and charge at you.
Go on.
What forgot?
Dunno.
Well-
Sheep. Something to do with sheep.
Right, something to do with sheep. They're the woolly ones.
Yeah.
What are the ones that run and charge at you?
Oh, they're woolly as well.
No,
The
but
rams.
not as woolly. The rams, right?
Yeah, they're...
The ram ones, right? If you write that down,
No,
What's
you not
that?
write it down. It's a...
that's
It's a...
Ramones.
The Ram ones.
The
No,
ram
but
ones.
it's how you say it, isn't it? It's not, because it's not...
No, it sort of changes about a bit. Just cryptic.
But your understanding of the
Cryptic.
word cryptic is
Yeah.
it can be anything.
What am I thinking?
That bloke with a beard and a little Sherpa. She goes, "What are you doing?" And they go, "We're just trying to climb this map." Look again. Oh, sorry, love.
Oh, it's your tits, I didn't
Oh,
realise.
your tits. We thought we were in.
I can't
Day
believe
two.
it.
I can't. Well, can we camp here? You can't camp on my tits for the night. No.
Well, why are you climbing them?
Well, I just
'Cause
got
they were there.
confused. Well, they're small and humble. Are you mental? Look at Carl. I love that look at Carl. Carl is looking back and forth. You know when you sort of you go to a cat, and it looks back and forth between two people. That's very much like Carl's looking at us now.
Or when, like, a child sees a midget or something in the street. They're just transfixed, aren't they? And the parents go, don't stare.
When we were pushing Ash, just our producers, in a wheelchair, and we were pushing
He's
through
not
the
a
VC.
midget, we should make that
No, he's not a little midget. He's not tall. But we were pushing him through the VC, and this little kid just came up and just stood in front of him and looked at him.
Yeah.
I just laughed.
It was funny.
Wu-Tang Clan there, Steve. XFM 104.9, I'm Gervais, with Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Now, I just reminded something else Karl's in the week. I know it's forbidden to talk to him, but I'll tell you this. He was very excited about the Friends Reunited. He was a bit nervous at first, wasn't he, last week? But he was really getting into it. And in the pub he was talking about those people, he said, I'd never go on a reunion, though. So I'd never do that.
What, a school reunion?
Yeah, and he wouldn't want to see anyone. And I went, well, I said, wouldn't you want to see those two lads with the big heads and the webbed hands?
Oh, yeah, these were people you went to school with, weren't they?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't knock about with them. They were in the class.
What were they called?
Freaks.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
And he said, no, I wouldn't want to see them. He said, because what could you say? Oh, you haven't changed much. Right? And he said, and they wouldn't go anyway, would they? I said, why? He went, well, they didn't have any friends.
Right.
And I said, well, weren't they friends with each other? And he went, no, that would have been too obvious. Like, they passed each other and went, no, I know it's tempting, but let's not.
Everyone would think that's just what we were going to do. Let's not do it.
Yeah. So they didn't even hang around with each other.
No.
See, I must say, in my head, I've got something like it's like some sort of extra thing from Blake 7 that they're like some sort of lagoon monster, but they just have slightly oversized heads, did they?
See, does your head grow? Your eyes don't. Does your head? Because maybe they've got to a point now that it's all sort of caught up with each other.
Well, at the time, the eyes were very small and the head was huge.
Just a very big head. And
Yeah.
the fingers aren't going to change. That's not.
They had
Not
webbed fingers.
It was like the penguin in Batman.
Really? Are you sure?
No, honestly.
Are you sure they weren't wearing mittens?
No, seriously.
Yeah, it wasn't home economics. They weren't getting something out of the oven, a very hot dish, were they? Every time you saw them.
But why were there two, but they weren't related and they weren't friends?
I don't know. I suppose it's like asthma and that, innit? Some kids have it. And it just was a
Yeah,
coincidence.
but asthma's quite a common thing. Webbed hands, Carl.
Yeah. I don't know. You don't think of it, do you, when you're a kid? You just sort of...
Oh,
when,
yeah,
when you first see them.
Yeah.
There goes the frogmen. Anyway, Carl, look, let's have a little quick session. From their greatest hits album, that's Outcast, and a track called Rosa Parks.
Like it.
Yeah, enjoyed it.
Now, we just had a call from someone impressed by Karl, and Karl's very pleased because this guy has actually done a PhD on Che Guevara. So, in theory, whatever subject he chose, in theory, he's probably one of the experts in the world on this particular field. Now, hello, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hello, what's your name?
My name's David.
David. Now where did you do your PhD?
Did it at UCL.
Did it at UCL, my old college. And what was the actual title of the PhD?
It was Che Guevara's influence on class struggle in Europe in the 60s.
And what did you think of Karl's performance?
I thought he did really, really well. The only thing, I'd never heard those last words before.
So Karl actually knows something you don't know.
Yeah, possibly.
Although you presumably not take that as verified information. You probably wouldn't take everything Karl said as gospel. You'd probably look it up yourself, would you?
I probably would have a look, yeah.
Did you know about babies' eyes?
Sorry?
Did you know that babies' eyes don't grow?
I didn't know that.
You see, that's why you shouldn't take
Yeah.
things Karl says as gospel, because it'll come out with something vaguely intelligent, and then say, "Did you know about babies' eyes don't grow?"
Any questions that you'd want to test Karl on? Any thoughts? Any things he missed there on the history of Che Guevara?
I think he did really well, and I think he should be congratulated.
Because Karl has problems with understanding why people are interested in history, and even though he's been reading these books, he keeps saying, "Why does anyone care about history? Why is it important?" What would you say to Karl?
I think he should maybe then look at who Che Guevara did influence and why he still influences people today.
Yeah. Well, he knows that he influenced Citizen Smith, and he knows that if McDonald's ever wanted to swap Ronald McDonald for Che Guevara, it would cost him an awful lot of money. So he is trying to apply it to the modern world. He is having a go.
Well, maybe you should think like why Rage Against the Machine have him on their T-shirts.
Good point, Karl. Why do you think of that? Why do you think they have him on the T-shirts, Karl?
I don't know. Maybe that was the design of the T-shirt. Maybe they wanted another T-shirt.
Maybe they
but
wanted
didn't have
Ronald
any,
McDonald.
but didn't have any in.
Sure.
And they said, "Oh, we'll have that one there then."
Well, thanks very much. Dave, just before you go, do you think Karl would be an interesting subject for a PhD?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
Okay, well, well, if you're not,
Well, hopefully
too
one day
busy-
you'll become a professor and you can maybe set that as some
I could
coursework.
do. Yeah.
Karl Pilkington. Imagine that.
Cheers,
Imagine
Dave.
having an MA in Karl Pilkington. Thanks very much, Dave.
Okay. Bye.
Cheers,
Thanks a
bye.
lot, That's good. My teachers never did that.
What encouraged you in that way?
Never said well done. to
Really?
anything. Yeah.
But you never showed up.
Yeah,
No, but
you
they
have to be in the
always-
same room,
They were too
really.
busy saying, "Who are you?"
yeah.
No, but Mrs. Matthews, me head teacher.
Oh, let's
Sure.
not lay into Matthews again. She's
Oh,
always getting a...
not Matty
She
Matthews,
said
not
I'd never-
Grimble Matty Matthews.
I'd
we used to call
never
her.
be a high flyer.
If she could see you now. What did she say? You'll never be a high flyer.
She said that to me, mum and dad,
Really?
on a parents' evening.
What did
And
you
that was after I'd played the drums in Little Donkey.
She clearly didn't know what she was talking about. With a pinch of salt. Do you do that? I imagine that you get caught staring at things.
Yeah, do you go up to people? Do you go up to people with problems and go, "Mummy, is that a monster?"
Well, I was telling you one about when I used to go with my dad in the taxi.
Oh yeah,
Why,
tell
what
us this
happened?
story.
Well,
Your father was a taxi driver?
my dad he had loads of jobs, which they did back then. And they don't do that anymore, do they? People they don't sort
Have
of
a
do
variety of
loads
jobs?
stuff.
Sure.
But at one point, he had a black cab, and I used to go with him. Used to get a beer crate and put it in the front of the black cab, and sort of sit just next to the
Comfortable.
meter. And anyway, we got this call, and like the guy on the end of the radio said, "Oh, you've got your son with you, haven't you?" So he said, "Yeah." So it's just like, we've got to pick up at number 11 Village Lane or whatever. And he said, "All right." And it was this woman. It was like a woman version of the Elephant Man.
Wow. The Elephant Woman.
Yeah, it looked like... it looked like... It was really strange, because I was in the front of the cab, and when you're a kid, if something looks odd, you're a bit scared of it, aren't you?
Yeah.
And my dad was like, "Look, it'll be all right." And we're driving towards her.
Look, don't worry, son. I've got loads of buns.
And just to
I
give
think I'll
you-
just throw one down the street if you
See,
run
you're
after it.
being mean, right?
I am a little
What was
bit.
that?
Yeah.
How old were you? 18?
No, I was about 12 or something like that. 11, 12. And as we got closer to her, it looked like she was holding like a bag of spuds on her shoulder,
For a snack.
Right.
and her head was all a bit mangled and messy and that. And my dad said, "Whatever you do, don't stare at her face."
Yeah.
And she got in the
Because you
back.
turn into stone.
She got in the back, and I had like the mirror, the driver's mirror thing, and sort of having a look, trying to work out. And he said, "Don't stare at her face." I couldn't work out where her face was. It was that weird.
Oh God.
So I'm not sure you're from Manchester. I think you're from, like, Narnia or something.
Yeah, you got frog boys walking
yeah,
around.
the Lord
with-
of the Rings.
That got like the claws of a lobster and the head of a toad.
Yeah.
And you got women getting in with spuds for heads. I mean, what
This is
sort
not
of, what
Manchester.
is
This
this
is not the place
place?
you grew up. This is
Yeah.
mad.
Oh, you can't believe it in London, can you? You come down and you go, look, symmetry. It must be amazing.
It must be a thing to do with upbringing, though, mustn't it? And because again, do you know I've said to you before, years ago when I was a kid and didn't have any worries, good-looking lad, you go through it a bit, have a few more worries, and you look knackered. Now back there's a lot more worries and stuff, so you get a lot more freaks. Whereas in London, everyone's like happy, aren't they? Got
I
loads
love
of
the
money.
fact that stress can cause your fingers to fuse and your heads
Yeah.
to grow.
No, but if
She must have been really stressed to have a head like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. She what
Bag of
was? Yeah,
sluts.
was she an accountant or something?
you know what I mean.
But what did she do? What did she say?
Where
when
was she
got in?
going, by the way?
She couldn't speak.
London Zoo, please.
I think she was going to like a
To the
pet
fair.
shop. Seriously, honest to God. On my mum's life, she was. Because at the end of the day, that's a good thing with animals. They don't judge you, do they?
She's not
She
an
was an
animal.
animal. She's a human being.
She's not actually an elephant.
No, but
You know the Elephant Man was not actually an elephant. You understand that? He's got no elephant genes in him at all.
No.
That was just a cruel name people gave him.
Yeah.
No, it's the name of the disease, isn't it? Elephantitis.
Look. So listen. So this woman, why was she going to a pet shop?
She was going to a pet shop. What, to find a husband?
Play a song.
Is this true?
No, it is true, yeah.
Oh,
But
God.
I'm not taking the mickey, because it must be
So,
really bad for
Of
you.
course it
But
is.
Carl,
Oh,
I
we
need to
haven't.
ask.
I'm going on to you today about cutting myself shaving.
Yeah.
I was going on about that. To think that she's probably not alive now, but to think,
But you're saying that you're going to say this is a worse problem than a little cut shaving, aren't you?
yeah,
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I
The
think you're
things
right.
that
Carl,
we worry about.
there's a couple of key questions I need to ask. One, if she couldn't talk,
Yeah.
how did she tell your father where to drive it? Did she have it
Probably
written on
got
a
some
note?
help
Did
for
she
it at
point
home.
with her nose?
Yeah.
Right, this has got silly. Pick your song.
But and also, finally, where did you say she lived again?
It was like in a village, a little small village.
Right.
Just hidden out of the way.
All I'm saying is we could maybe get like some sort of coach, book some coaches, get a coach party up there to have a look at her.
So
Take some photos.
And now,
You can make some lemonade.
the offspring of a woman and some spuds. Please enter at your peril. Shit, give me a shiny shilling.
Wow.
Oh, that's terrible. Well, I'm going to play a little bit of Teenage Fan Club song for the lovers here. We left it very late. We've been just, rapping with Karl P here, and this is I Need Direction. Could I just say also that I do not advocate the use of vices on friends' heads. It's dangerous. Do not squeeze your mate's head in a vice. That's just between me and Carl, and and
Ricky Gervais is an experienced annoyer.
and he probably wouldn't let me do it, to be honest. I have to offer him an awful lot of money. Also, do not smoke. There's no point. And floss. I wish I'd flossed when I was a kid. Also, if you've got a bicycle or anything like that for Christmas, please wear the correct safety gear.
Whoa.
What?
Well, I got a bike as a kid.
Yeah.
Right? And my dad, I think the helmets used to come with them and what have you. I popped it on, went out on my bike, coming back into the garden. Dad sees me. He said, "Come here." I said, "What?" He said, "I never want to see you wearing that helmet again. You look ridiculous."
Oh, wow. He'd rather take the risk.
No one looks good in them though, do they?
Yes, they do. Wear the helmet.
Okay, I think it's probably time. Let me just check my watch. Yeah, it's monkey news time.
Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news, you.
Right. Last week we talked about, the one who was good at getting up buildings and that for putting out fires and stuff. Ended up working for the fire department.
Yeah, not true, but
Sure. But if the building had good grippage, he was right up there.
yeah, it's not true, but go on.
So this week, anyway, it's more about tall buildings and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It was this bloke who was a builder.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And you know what builders are like? They sort of move about, don't they, from sort of building to building, just building.
Well, yeah, once they built it, the building's done and they move on to build some more.
Building to building, just building, yeah.
So he goes to his next job and that, right?
Who does, the builder?
The builder.
Yep.
He goes to like the
new
boss,
building.
the boss of this building, who's building it.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And he says what unto him?
Do you need anything building?
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, so he says, yeah, there's plenty of work and that going about.
Yep.
He said, we're working on this one here. He said, get going on it, like, there's your bricks and your cement and stuff, get on with it.
Yeah.
Any plans?
Just build.
Just start building.
Yeah. Go up.
they're getting on with it and stuff, it's all going well.
Yep.
But he notices that there's someone working high up, right, on the
Okay.
top bit.
Sure.
Because do you know, like, there's girders and stuff on these big buildings.
Yeah.
And he's still building the bottom bit,
And
which
he's
is weird.
still, yeah, well, that's the way they do it there, apparently, just to sort of speed it up, work from top to middle, from top to bottom.
Sure, that's in imaginary land.
We
So
put
anyway.
the spire on, now we better do the foundations,
Yeah.
and then put some stuff in the middle to keep it up there.
So anyway, he's saying to, like, the other workers, he's going, who's that up there?
Who's that up there?
He's working on his own.
The little fella, was he?
And,
The little hairy fella up there.
He's the little hairy fella up there with the hard hat.
and the other fellas are going, look, don't ask questions, the boss decides who he takes on, we're happy to be getting paid here.
Don't ask questions! Well, I'll see him when he comes down.
So he said, well, it's pretty impressive, the work rate he's doing, the way he's getting from one girder to the other.
Swinging, is he?
He doesn't seem to be scared of the heights or anything. He said, no, just let him get on with it, we work well as a team. So anyway,
What nonsense is
So-
this?
so-
He believes all this.
Yep.
so he sees the boss and he goes, that fella up there, who's the fella up there? He's pretty good. And he's like, look, just get on with the job, I'll pay you, let's just all get on with our jobs and that. Lunchtime comes, they're all sat there, sat on a little wall, having the sandwiches, just thinking he'll come down in a bit. He's just carrying on.
Is he just still going?
Still going on that, right? So the fella says to the boss man, he says, isn't that fella up there going to come down and join us for lunch? He said, like I said, mate, don't worry about him, right? He
He's
said,
very
"Look,"
secret. I'm suspicious about this fella. I don't know.
Yeah,
why,
I don't know.
I don't know why he's working through his lunch. I don't know why he's not scared of heights. I don't know why he's swinging from girder to girder. It's weird. Go on.
So he said, anyway, you've reminded me that he's up there. He said he's doing a lot of riveting and stuff up there. He probably needs some more nuts to...
Right, sure. And what kind of nuts is that? Is that nuts to food or
So he said, what, nuts? He said, yeah, just, there's a bag full of them there, just put them on the hook, send them up, and he can get on with his job. So anyway, he picks these nuts up, right?
Yep.
Just hooks them on. He thinks they're not that heavy, considering, you know, I mean, they're normally pretty heavy, aren't they? Like, nuts
big
and
bag of
bolts and
nuts,
stuff.
yeah.
So anyway, he has a little glance in.
Oh, no, what's in there?
Nuts.
What, you mean nuts that you can eat?
Nuts that you can eat,
Oh.
right? So they send the bag up, and he's thinking, what's all that about? He checks him out, starts to stare, works it out. You can see that he's a little chimp running about. So he goes, I'm not happy with this.
Why isn't he?
Because he's working for an organisation that's, you know, there's unions for this sort of stuff, isn't there?
Yeah, he's not going, that's amazing. They've got a chimp riveting this building together.
Yeah.
That's not scary. He's wondering if they're breaking union rules.
So he
You
goes,
didn't have to talk
So he goes and has a word with
he
the boss.
goes to the boss and he goes, look, I've worked out what you're playing at here.
Yeah.
He said, all them out
Is the
there.
boss sitting in a tyre?
He said, all them lot out there might not be wise to what's going on here. He
Yeah.
said, but I've clocked it, and you're sending nuts up to it. It's a monkey, it's not on. So he goes, look, you know, we're just all trying to earn a living here. He said, don't get involved in it. I'm happy to pay you, but I'm paying him. Don't interfere.
He's paying him.
And he's saying, look, I'm just not happy with this. It's not allowed. So the boss was saying, well,
We
to be
pay
honest,
peanuts,
mate,
we get monkeys.
he said, to be honest, mate, you know, he's a great worker. He's known for doing what he does. He's a good grafter. If one of you's going to go, right, I'm afraid I'll have to let you go because he's been here longer than that.
Yeah.
He was made redundant.
None of
because
that
the monkey-
happened.
He was laid off.
None of that happened.
He's laid off and that. And that's
No.
where that saying about, you know, like there's a lot of tower blocks and that in America. It's like the chimp off the old block is where. So that's monkey news.